When it comes to creating discussions in Canvas, it's really kind of different from most learning management systems in terms of how to handle creating discussions. So this might be one of the areas that's the most challenging for you if you are used to something else. I know I had a bit of trouble myself trying to figure out how it works in Canvas. So what I'm going to do is show you how to create some discussions, and especially discussions that have multiple questions involved with them. So the first thing I'm going to do is click plus discussion, and I'm going to create a virtual office forum. Okay, I'm not going to fill in this description here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow threaded replies. What that means is that the replies that the students make to this discussion question will sort of be threaded, which means that if somebody replies to this with a question and I reply to that person, it looks like they belong together. So it kind of puts them underneath each other, if that makes sense, kind of like Facebook does, if you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to click Allow Threaded Replies and then Save. And this discussion is going to be pinned, okay? So what that means, first I'm going to publish it, and go back to discussions here, and pinned discussions means that they always stay up on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and drag that up and leave it up at the top. Okay, so now let's create another discussion that has multiple questions. Something that you might be tempted to do is to create a discussion for every single discussion question you have in your course. Like for me, I have 3 possible discussion questions a week, and that would make for a huge page when you log in here. So what I've decided to do, or what I've learned how to do, is how to sort of make it look right in Canvas. So I'm going to create week 2 discussion here, and I might give my students, for example, I will tell them something like this. Okay, now I'm going to allow threaded replies again. One of the things that you can do if you want to is users must post a reply before seeing replies. Now, for the way I have it set up, this is only going to be applicable to their first discussion question reply. I haven't been able to find a better way of doing that. I'm going to make sure it's graded. If you have a group-based discussion, you're going to click this button and follow those directions. So I'm going to make it worth the points. I want it to display as points. And under assignment group, this shows I don't have any assignment groups set up yet. You might have an assignment group called assignments, assessments, discussion, group work, all those kinds of things. I would associate this with discussion. Now, requiring peer reviews, this is really helpful when you have a peer review discussion forum. And by clicking that, it'll give you all sorts of choices about randomly assigning peer reviews and allowing them to post anonymously and those kinds of things. Now, here, it's for everyone. And I will click a due date. This is, of course, just random. And I can also have an available from and until date. I do not suggest using those. I don't suggest closing your discussions from your students because I think it's nice for them to be able to go back and view things, and generally they do not post ahead of time. And if you've already graded, if they've posted again, it doesn't quite matter. So click Save. And so here's my week 2 discussion. Now, in order to create my discussion questions, I have to make sure that this is published. So click Publish. Okay, now under Week 2 discussion, I am going to put my discussion questions. So I'm going to say discussion question 1, and over here on a document that you cannot see, I have the discussion questions that I'm just going to copy and paste. Here we go, post reply. So there's DQ1. Again, I'm going to go up to the top and reply again to do DQ2. I keep doing that with the Q's. I'm going to grab my second discussion question over here, copy it, and paste it. Post reply. And what you see, if you start with your first question, it'll the last thing you do is the last thing that you see. So the final one, I click reply again, DQ3. Oh my word, you're probably laughing at me now. And here is DQ3. And post reply. So this is what your students will see when they click on Week 2 discussion. First question, second question, third question. And when they're ready to give their reply, they're going to click reply. Now, you might think that this will get really messy with all kinds of replies and stuff, and it will. What's important to inform your students is that once this starts to get busy, they're going to want to click here to collapse the replies. This is the same for you if you're taking a class and on course. Collapse the replies so all they will see is this, this, and this. And if they want to expand them, they can click that. So hopefully this helps you develop your discussion forums when you have more than one discussion question.